Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Wilsonville, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, October 30th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the numbers with you. So this last week in Wilsonville, I showed we had 5 new properties come on the market. You can kind of see that's towards the lower end of the range. Here is actually it's a slight low for the prior 8 weeks here in terms of weekly new listings, which is not a surprise, kind of giving the time of year. Typically, these things kind of start slowing down as we move towards year end. And we ended the week with 54 homes on the market in Wilsonville, down about 4 from the week prior. Median price and days on market for the active listings, that's been coming down a bit. We had a high of 729 about 6 weeks back, and this last week came in at 686, up a little bit from the prior week. And then days on market, we went from 32 up to 49 about a month ago. It has actually been coming down here over the past last month, down to 40 days of average market time this last week. Moving along to pending sales. This last week in Wilsonville, I showed we had 8 new pendings, up from 5 the week prior, and that's towards the upper end of the range on a weekly basis, as you can kind of see here. And we ended the week with 32 homes in pending status, which kind of halts a slide as we were we were under. We had a 49 here 8 weeks back, and it kind of been decreasing down to 30 for the prior couple of weeks, and up a couple this last week. Median price and days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see where that's gone. Started off at 655 and been kind of up and down. Got up to high of 728 about 3 weeks back, and kind of come back down the past few weeks. This last week clocking in at 682,000 for the median price of the pendings. And then days on market, after reaching a high of 25 days here about 6 weeks back, it has dropped down to between 9 and 14 days. This last week came in at 14, so just about 2 weeks of average market time right now for the homes that are going pending in Wilsonville. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this info together, I show we had 4 properties go from pending to sold last week in Wilsonville, up from the paltry number of 1 the week prior. But certainly kind of down from where it was earlier in the period on a weekly basis. And when you look over the last 4 weeks of activity, kind of on a rolling weekly basis, this last week came in at 21. So definitely quite a loss of almost half of kind of where we were just about 5 weeks back, a high of 39, and you can kind of see it's just kind of continued to dwindle down to the current 21 this last week. Median sold price and days on market for the sold listings, you can kind of see where that's gone. High of 677,000 8 weeks back, and this last week kind of matches the low for the 8 weeks at 575,000, down from 605 the week prior. And then days on market, that has been a little bit of a roller coaster, but started off at 23, got down to 14, went up to 25, and then this last week kind of came back down to 13 days of average market time for the most recent solds in Wilsonville. And then lastly, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So red bars is that weeks of inventory, and you kind of see we were skating right around 5 to 6 weeks of inventory for the first 5 or 6 weeks of this period. Has been rising, as you can kind of see here over the past couple weeks here. So we just got up over to about 10 weeks of inventory in Wilsonville, so just about 2.5 months worth based on the current sales rate. And then the sale price as a percent of the original list price, you can kind of see that's been bouncing around a little bit, but it's been trending up, which is kind of going against what I see in a lot of other markets right now, which is kind of interesting to kind of see. So we had a low of about 94.3% about 5 weeks back, and it's actually been going up, reaching 98.5% here this last week. So not quite seeing the the price pressure in Wilsonville right now that I'm kind of seeing in some other local surrounding markets, which is kind of interesting. But with rising inventory, I would probably guess that we're going to see this to probably kind of come under pressure here again as we build more inventory, if that indeed kind of continues to stay elevated. So about 2.5 months worth of inventory, but only about 1.5% of discount off of list price. So still pretty competitive market right now in Wilsonville. So I hope this weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow along on a weekly basis. And it's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local market. And as always, I really appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day and week ahead, and we will see you on the next video.